Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. Got us a 07 Hyundai, a Tucson with a 2.0 and a stick. Thing's manual transmission, never seen one in my life. Money lights on. Evidently this lady has had this at multiple shops with multiple different answers. One shop she went to, guy I know, pretty reputable guy, had told her that she needed an oxygen sensor. Let me back up. She went to the auto zone. She got in the zone. They told her that she needs a massive airflow sensor. So she went to this other guy's shop. He checks the codes, says she needs an oxygen sensor. Tests it, does whatever he does, whatever. Puts an O2 sensor in it, apparently. I haven't looked to verify. And evidently when she picked the car up, money lights on, went back, demanded her money back, did whatever from there. Went to another shop, who I don't know very well. They indeed had told her the best that she could tell me is that the computer was bad because of a shorted ground wire. Something along those lines. Gave her a quote for $500 for new ECM. She wants a third opinion, apparently, and has ended up here in my lap. I look at it yesterday. Well, I pulled it in just before I went home because it was, rainy, snowy, kind of crappy. Pulled it in because I didn't want it dripping on me. Pulled the codes out of it. I see it had a P0102 in it for the Mass Air Flow. I had to get going home, didn't do any further testing. However, these are pretty notorious for mass airflow failure. Nobody stocks it, so I ordered one before I went home. So I do have a new one here if I need it. However, you guys know me, I'm not just gonna put it on from a code-based parts cannon diagnosis. So let's just go through, check real quick, see what's going on. I don't know. Key is on. We will let it auto ID here. See what the thunder. Oh, cable people are outside making racket. All right, I'll tell. Kind of screwing up on us here right from the beginning. See, there she goes. She pulls through. Oh, I think it's because I hit read twice. I don't know. Too busy looking out the window. Let's see. All right, 07 Tucson 2.0 looks legit. Go diagnose. We're just gonna pick the engine controller. So it just seems kind of odd, the other shop letting her know that her computer is shorted out. But honestly, when I pop the hood, let's see, P0102. Yeah, low. Okay, so that's the only code in it. A couple things we want to know. Is the drive cycle finished? I don't know if we're going to have that information here. Probably not. Oops. Nope, so we're going to go just like this because this is important data to know is, is the drive cycle complete? Is there a potential that we don't have other codes? We know from codes found 1, monitors okay, monitors incomplete 3. So this has not had its full drive cycle. So this is good to know. And we know from a previous video that with a bad mass airflow on your Kia Hyundai vehicle, it will not run the drive cycle. So we have potential, the catalyst monitor is not run, evap is not run, oxygen sensor has not run. This is fantastic. So at this point, this is what we know. So we go like this. I have to do this because I need documentation. It's called CYA, or cover your butt, so to speak. This way, if something else, upload message failed. Fantastic. So I just want to save this. Sorry for boring you with this portion of it. Let's see, we're just going to do, let's see, pre-fix. Get it. I'm going to save that. That way there I can print it later because obviously it's being ridiculous. I'm going to try to print it one more time. See if this works. Oh, it may not be working. You know why it's not working? Because the internet guy is outside right now breaking my internet. Okay, so we'll skip that. So I saved that. I forget what I'm talking about 6 things going on here. Pull this back out of the history. Jump back in there. Okay. And then I'll read the codes. Oh, dang it all. Crap. Yes, I want to exit. You just got to be able to document your stuff. So, you know, we can show the customer, you know, the drive cycle was not complete. You know, that way there, when we drive it, if all of a sudden, you know, now we got a P0420 and oxygen sensor codes and everything else. Let's see, codes, prefix codes, yes. Okay. So we'll save this. I'll print this later. All right, so now let's go back to our original, whatever it was we were doing here. We want to go to live data. We want to just look at the mass airflow voltage. I think if you guys remember from the other video we did, it should be around, you know, 0.6 to 1 volts at an idle. Here we go. Mass airflow rate from sensor, 0 to 1, or 0.1 volts. Let's just get what on the screen we want to look at. It's measuring kilograms per hour instead of grams per second. I don't know if we can change that. It's already in metric, yeah, so. Okay, never mind. Okay, so let's take and start it up and we'll see what we see here. Let me just get it up in a graph for you. Be a little bit easier. I'm gonna go fire it up. And there we are, hazard change. All right, no difference. This is already giving me a bad taste in my mouth because you guys hear it. I hear it. Sounds like it's got a broken flex pipe. 99% chance we are going to get a check engine light. Whoa! When we're done. 4, an O2 sensor, slow response, catalytic converter, something. And that is the part of my job that sucks. Let me turn the key, make sure the key is on here. So the key is on. So we should be able to test all of this stuff in just a test site here. Let me, I want to grab us a wiring diagram of the airflow meter. So it's going to be mass airflow, intake air temp, all in one little package. We want engine controls, mass airflow. So this is hard to explain to a customer. So drive cycle's not done. We have a mass airflow that is either has a broken wire or is not functioning. It's stuck at, you know, 0.1 volts. It's just taking, how do you unplug this thing? This is a squeezer. Yeah, unplug it, it goes to 0. So it is at 0 volts right now, so that's a good, partially a good indicator. Let me take and just flick that back. There we go. Let's see. There's our mass airflow. All right, so we have, so here's our mass airflow sensor down there at the bottom. So we have a ground. It goes to G29, so it's just a solid chassis ground. Looking at this, our white wire, it should be our power. Well, I can double check that. It should be, you know, a 12 volt supply. Our blue and green, they have to pertain to the intake air temp sensor. So we're not even concerned with those two wires. We're concerned with the power of the ground, and then our gray is going to be our signal wire. That's going to be the wire that reports back to the computer, you know, with our voltage here, you know, where we're reading the 0 volts. So first thing first, I'm going to stick that up there. You know, white should be our power. Yeah, I'll just go with it even if I'm wrong. We need to be able to see that. I don't want to base it on just pin numbers because I am using a colored wire diagram. So let's see if we can't just open this up enough to see the wire colors. See if I can do it without breaking anything here. Alright, we got green, black, gray, blue. That must be what they consider white. It's kind of a pinkish white, but what number do they say it is? Number 2, number 1 is blue, 3 is gray. Okay, seems legit. So black is number 4. I got a 4 amp test light. This is going to be a fused power that runs it, so I'm not overly concerned with hurting anything. I'm just going to very gingerly touch that on our ground. Number 2 should be our power. Should be nice and bright. And you guys can see it is nice and bright. And that is our power and ground supply. If there was anything wrong with that ground or its power supply, it sure as heck is not going to light up a 4 amp test light, which is way more current than this thing, this mass airflow needs. So next we want to see, so our scan data here, hopefully you guys can see that. I can't tell if you can or not. I can zoom in a smidge. That should be better. Hopefully you can see it. So this is the value we're going to be looking at, this value right here. So we're at 0 volts. It's unplugged. What I'm going to do is pin number 3, 1, 2, 3, that's this gray wire right here. I'm going to just touch that with my needle from my probe, not front probing it, just gently underneath it. Gonna wet down my fingers a little bit with a little spit. I'm gonna hold that needle right there, wet down these 2 fingers with some more spit. I'm gonna touch the battery positive post, and that should drive that signal high. Look at that, 5 volts, 0 volts. 5 volts, 0 volts, okay? No test light required. Touch the battery terminal with simply wet digits, and I can drive it high. That tells me the wire going back to the ECM is good, and our mass airflow sensor is junk. Okay, simple as that. So I could have took a guess and just changed the part like a moron, and it'd have been right this time. But as I mentioned, the downside to the whole spiel is, now what? You know, this lady is an older lady, has obviously felt like she's been taken advantage of by shops. And here we are in this situation where I am 100% correct. This vehicle needs a mass airflow sensor. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, the mass airflow sensor is garbage. The circuitry is good. We have good power, good ground, good signal wire to our ECM. Now we're going to replace this, and we're going to drive it down the road, and we're going to go through a drive cycle, and there's the potential that light's going to come on, you know, like I say, P0420, P0131, 135, you know, a host of O2 sensor codes because of the broken flex pipe. This is a difficult call to make because I can call a customer and say, you know, it's like talking to, you know, a door. Not that the lady's stupid or anything. They don't understand this, and you know, you sound like a shyster when you're saying, "Oh, your mass airflow's bad, but you're going to need all this other stuff." When indeed, what I want to do is say, "Let's change this part. We know it's bad. You know, we'll clear the light. We'll run a drive cycle. You may have other problems." And as simple as that sounds to you and I, to a lady who's already been to 3 shops, and every time she leaves, her engine light comes on. That sounds skeptical. So here's where I'm at. She has given me permission to change this. I tried to reiterate to her the best I could. We'll see what happens. All right, so here we go. We're gonna give her a little toot of some spray. Oh, I hate stuff like this. You know what? Before we even take this off, I gotta make sure we got the right freaking part. I looked it up myself, so if I'm wrong, that's my own fault. Doody-doo. There it is. Looks correct. Delphi. All right. What's up, Mrs. O?
Oh, nothing.
I was just explaining to the people how it puts me in a very difficult situation.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the lady's already been to, 3 different places. Every time she's left, her money light's been on, feels taken advantage of, blah, blah, blah. We've made the right call, however.
Maybe you should call her now.
I've already talked to her before I diagnosed it, gave her a potential
problem.
Yeah, because I was, yesterday I just looked at this thing very briefly, just scanned it. I assumed that mass airflow is bad. And when I talked to her, that's when she gave me the whole story about what's actually been going on with this thing and whatnot and what have you. And now here I am.
Here you are.
But the difference is I documented all my stuff.
No.
So she wants to take me to court and fight. Let's go. Oh. There we go.
Looks bad.
Yeah, well, you can see that by the way that the thing there.
Doesn't, like,
it's
let me
all
see.
it's all shorted out,
Wait a
lady.
second,
It's
let me
all
see that.
shorted out.
I mean, it looks like it could blow through there. Isn't that?
That's
I
what it
mean,
does.
it's not clogged up. Isn't that what it does?
She called it the massive airflow.
It looks like you could get some massive airflow
You probably could.
through that.
Let's install this one.
Does it more have to do with this, something like in this area?
Yes, there's some jiggy witcher inside of it that's gone bad. I don't get technical. I'm not an electrical scientist. I ain't a magician, alright?
I'm not sure that a magician or an electrical scientist, as you want to call them, want to be compared to each other.
Yes, they do. It's kind of the same thing. It's the same. I don't know. I'm just a mechanic, okay? Just leave me alone. Just a mechanic. I'm fixing freaking cars. That's all I do. It's my MO, as I like to call it. That's your mode of operation, I think, is what MO means. It's your MO.
Yeah.
What's his MO? I don't know. He's a wacko. Speaking of, man, what, 3 YouTubers stopping in one day? Woo! Nothing getting done.
No.
That's all right. Yep, 3 YouTubers in one day. Lots of sugary snacks now.
Whew.
And then my girl Pat bringing my apple pie. And Paula Dane.
I know. I kind of want to save it for dinner, so.
Today is What's Up Wednesday. There is no saving that mac and cheese for me, young lady.
What?
I'm gonna have a heart attack right on camera.
That's awful to say.
Well, yeah.
So wait, you're having the mac and cheese for lunch and dinner?
Oh my gosh, I will be having a heart attack. Okay, let's save this because it is aftermarket, and we all know how good aftermarket stuff works. Of course, I've had pretty good success with Delphi. Aftermarket MAFs, we'll call them. The short thing.
Massive.
MAF.
Massive.
MAF. Massive airflow. So we'll save that. Oh, you think I could sell that? It's an SMA sticker. What? Boom. Oh, let's see. So, in theory, plug that little guy back in. Okay, did a click. Let's grab some data. Okay, check it out. Standard shift, baby. Gotta push in the third pedal to the left. Okie dokie. 1.5 volts. I have to look. I think that's a tad on the high side, but it is up on a fast idle still. I want to take and, sorry about the crappy video. I want to clear the codes and stuff out of this so the fuel trims and everything adapt correctly. So we're going to clear the codes. Okay, we'll go back to special functions. Reset adapted values. Let's see, ignition on, engine off. Are you sure? Yes, it has been complete. There's that. Should have no codes. No fault codes detected. Okay, I'll tell you what. Before we let this warm up too much, which we probably already have, I'm gonna pull it outside, let it do its warm up cycle. We'll monitor mass airflow, of course. See if I can get any drive cycle out of this, or we gotta let it cool back down. I swear every SMA video has crap hanging from the rear view mirror. That would drive me absolutely bonkers. Let's see, we're gonna go live data. I just pulled it out, I got it sitting here warming up. Let's see, what do we want? What our airflow voltage. We're in OEM data. I'm not sure what they use for their fuel trims. Okay, I'm gonna let her sit here and warm up just a little bit. Maybe I should grab some coolant temp if we got any of that anywhere. All right, we'll let her warm up. We'll see where our fuel trims end up getting sorted out. I've got to get this through a drive cycle. There is no way without 100% clear customer understanding that I can let this car go without having a drive cycle done on it and know that it is, you know, A, repaired, or, you know, B, has more problems, which with that loud flex pipe, I bet dollars to donuts we're going to have an issue. But the good news is the mass airflow is fixed. Now I got to remember how to drive standard. The funny thing is, this thing just had an inspection less than 30 days ago. The inspection is March of this year. And we're still in March. I don't know what date it is. 20-something, 27th maybe today. I don't know. Somewhere during. Oh my gosh, this thing has no rear struts. Oh, this is awesome. So I don't know if you guys can see the scan data or not, but mass airflow is certainly working beautifully. Probably obstructing your whole view. Oh wow. I wonder how this thing passed inspection. Oh yeah. Whatever. They might sticker on the windshield. Yeah, the Snap-on guys down here. We can stop and rest. It must be eating lunch. Getting some gas station burritos. There's everybody honking. Oh wow, stop, stop, stop. Come on, baby. There she goes. Ooh. Never seen a Tucson with a stick. That's awesome. Shaking. Wow. All right. Well, let's see what we can do drive cycle wise. I gotta double fist the steering wheel here, otherwise we're gonna eat it. So I popped into some generic data here. It has not run any of the monitors yet. I may have to let it sit and cool down. But at some point I have to draw the line with my safety and others, whether it's worth even driving. Between the way this thing is shaking and pulling, the obvious bad wheel bearings that are in it. I mean, the steering wheel's shaking so bad you have to hang on to it with two hands. Pulling, I mean, this car is obviously not very safe whatsoever. Not a job I was hired for, but at some point I do draw a line and say, no, I can't drive your car. I don't feel like dying, lady. We'll see. I'll give it a few more miles. I'm gonna head back. So currently, where are we at? Evap is incomplete, and O2 sensors have we done. So it did run the catalyst monitor. I'm super surprised. So catalyst, misfire, fuel monitoring, comprehensive. Evap, O2s. Try and remember the O2s on these. I think that is start stops. 3-4 in a row, 10-minute drive, something like that. I'm gonna have to look that up. Okay, no EGR valve. So that's kind of where we're at. But I'm here to tell you, I'm looking at the back of the inspection sticker. It was inspected at 174, 875, and it's got 175, 557 on it. This thing hasn't even been 500 miles since it's been inspected, right? 75, 4. Yeah, it's been just a little over. Hasn't even made 1,000 miles. No freaking way, people. It takes quite a bit to scare me in a vehicle. As far as driving, come on, get off there. As far as driving, you know, something that's not safe. There's no way in hell this thing should have a sticker on it, I'll tell you that right now. Rear struts are completely wasted. The brakes almost shake you right clean out of the seat when you apply them. It's got a nasty pull, like it's got a broken belt in the tire. Steering wheel shakes like crazy. You know, as noisy as them wheel bearings are, you know they're not tight. I don't know what it sounds like on camera, but it's loud in here. Jeez. And the worst part, you know, a lot of these shops that are doing these lick-em stick-ems, you know, of course they probably had to plug this into a different vehicle because the light was on in this car, so they think they're doing people a favor by giving them a lick-em stick-em, breaking the law, you know, jeopardizing their own business just to give somebody a sticker. Just fix the damn car and give them a legit sticker. It's as simple as that. That's why I look at it. I get people coming to me, they want to lick them, stick them, get out of here, you know? So, but there's, you know, a guy right up the road from me, he does them all day long. Lights work, you got a sticker. He'll plug it right into his own vehicle and away you go. Stupid. And then you get guys from the state that come and, you know, audit us, you know, check our paperwork, you know, you got one little thing on a line, you're getting fined, and, you know, you got these other ding-dongs that are only open after hours, and whatever. It just kind of burns my biscuits a little bit. Whew. We survived. So far. I got to go back to the shop, look up the criteria for running the O2 monitors. Now, I was watching O2 data driving down the road. The O2 sensors are working. There's the upstream is switching beautifully. The downstream looks good, despite the, you know, obvious massive exhaust leak. Oh, okay, monitor's okay. Look at that. I just switched over to 5. So one of the O2s must have just switched as we came coasting into town. Oops, forgot my turn signal. There we go. Anybody who's paying attention. So we only have 2 monitors that are complete, probably O2 heater. Let's go here. Oh my gosh, this shop is a freaking madhouse today. Looks like my brother's here. Oh, turn signal. Hold on. There we go. How's that? Everybody happy? Let's see what the final verdict is. I'm not even going to bother touching that parking brake because I don't want to spend the next hour trying to get it working again. Alright, so everything is done except O2 heater and evap. Evap I'm not super concerned about. It's going to be tough to get. We're getting low on gas. Let's just for grins and giggles see if we threw any pending codes or anything like that. Which I'm not going to be surprised if we do. No codes detected. I got to at least get the O2 monitor heater to run. I'll go look it up. Back in the shop, tried to do the O2 heater monitor again, let the vehicle sit. Went through the criteria that I looked up. Don't know if it's legit. Did get it out of their service info. Couldn't make that O2 monitor run, the O2 heater. O2 monitor and heater didn't. I remember having this problem with prior Hyundais and Kias. So I'm going to have to take a chance. I'm not going to spend hours in this driving around. It's out of gas at this point, or, you know, near out of gas, just barely over 1/8 of a tank, which could be inhibiting it because it does require a minimum of 15% fuel. So like I say, it's probably foolish on my part. However, 100% confirmed, mass airflow is fixed. Fuel trims are back in order. It did run all the drive cycle except O2 heater and evap. I did document the process well. I'm going to, of course, give copies of that documentation to the customer, try to explain it the best I can, that when that O2 heater runs and the evap system, those are potentials for different codes on and beyond the mass airflow that we fixed. Sometimes that can be difficult to reiterate to a customer who has, zero concept of, how these systems work. So I try to really put it in layman's terms, and I can't blame them for not knowing how they work. However, the job that we were hired to do is done. Mass Air Flow's happy, and that is the only code, and we have no pending codes currently. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. If I keep driving, something's going to break. Wheel bearings are going to fall off, rear struts are going to snap in half, something. I need to know when to say when, and that's what you guys need to know too. And also how to document your process. If you're in a shop, this is not going to apply to home gamers, but if you're in a shop and you bring that car in and it's got one code, you better be going in and checking monitors to make sure somebody didn't do something shady, clear the codes before it was brought in. Like I say, this thing's got, a couple hundred miles on this brand new inspection. It doesn't have a single monitor that's been run. Money lights on. You better talk and establish some kind of, boundary here with your customer to say, okay, I'm fixing this code, but, here's these potentials when we're done. And try to make that very clear, because you don't want them coming back in saying, guess what, my light's on. Totally different problem. You got to be able to prove it. So that's all I can tell you. And unfortunately, this is a brand new customer, never been here before, stuff like that. So you don't want that to go wild on you. You want to make a lifetime customer, get them out of these shady shops that are doing these lick 'em stick 'ems, obviously not fixing anything, don't have the ability or the want to. So that's our hope. It's my hope and dream, man. Speaking of dream, better move the dream catcher back down. And that's it. So let me know what you think. Comments, questions, criticisms, concerns, go down below. While you're down there, ring the bell, socials, everything else that you normally do. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.